Ever wondered what it takes to become an elite footballer? For every kick or handball on game day, there's hundreds of unseen hours of work being put in. From nutrition to training habits, development plans, and complex craft work, there are so many boxes you need to tick to get to the next level. To help the next generation get to that standard, 26 of the best AFLW draft prospects from across Australia have been handpicked to join the National Academy. These young guns get to visit clubs and learn from the smartest football minds across the country. The goal for this program is to teach the players how to drive their own careers. So these camps are just about giving them the keys. Come with us on a behind-the-scenes look at the AFLW Academy's first training camp of the year to find out what it takes to be the best. The 2024 draft class looks like it could be the strongest crop the league has had in quite some time. Ash Centra has been labelled as a generational talent from a long way out by staff at her club, the Gippsland Power. Havana Harris is a 6-foot ruck from the Gold Coast Academy who has dazzling skills at ground level too. Zipporah Fish lives up to her nickname Zippy, with her speed and evasiveness long catching the eyes of recruiters.
Hi, my name is Zippy Fish and I play for East Fremantle.
Dishes off the handball, Fish is in trouble. Get on the tackle beautifully. And now she can drive them inside 50. Zipporah Fish. That's beautiful.
I like to play fast. That's one of my strengths, my speed. And then I think probably just my kicking, lacing out, or leading forward or hitting up a target.
India Rashid is the daughter of former tennis player and coach Roger. Indy's work overhead and stellar goal kicking make her such a threat up forward. You've also got Sarah Howley, who averaged 32 disposals and nearly a goal a game in the Coates Talent League. And then there's Sophie McKay. She's a father-daughter prospect for Carlton and a gun midfielder. With the first day of camp being held at Carlton's facilities at Icon Park, McKay copped a heap of wholesome haggling from family members on the sidelines.
Hey, Sophie, love you!
They are some good leg swings. Who's number 7?
Hello, I'm Soph McKay and I play for the Sandringham Dragons. I'm on ball, so I'm a small mid. My job's just to get the tap, and one of my strengths is speed, so I just run. Just weave in and under and just fast footy, I'd say. I'm the youngest of 3. My sister, Abby, plays for Carlton currently, and Dad played for Carlton a long time ago. So yeah, that's when kind of footy was exposed to me, just growing up from a very young age.
You've had a little bit to do with the Carlton AFLW program. What have those sorts of things been like, those dealings?
They're awesome. It's just such a cool experience because you just experience the professionalism that you're not completely exposed to in the Coates League just yet. And things from even nutrition to how to take care of your body and just the standard of training is so awesome to be a part of.
The girls were welcomed into the Academy program with a bunch of goodies to prepare them for the weekend. A notebook for the mind, foam rollers for the body, and some Puma boots for the soles. Carlton's AFLW talent acquisition manager Matthew Burton then gave the girls a tour of the place. Young Blues Keely Shearer and recent Academy graduate Lila Keck broke down some of the things they've learned while making the switch from junior football to the elite level. Keely's big takeaway was how much time she spent working on her weaknesses. Kicking was an area she needed to improve, so she'd tack on extra time outside of the normal training hours at the club to work on that consistently. Academy coach Tarkin Lockyer then addressed the group for the first time and noticed most of the girls were sitting next to players from the same state. It's a national academy with every state represented. New South Wales has Emma Janasia from the Swans Academy and Ashley Patton from the Giants Academy. Mackenzie Williams is a medium defender from Tasmania, while Tatiana Perry is one of the better prospects to come out of the Northern Territory for a while. Tara Harrington is a Gold Coast Academy midfielder, while Lily Baker is a developing ruck from the Brisbane Academy. Victoria is split into 2 zones, Metro and Country. The Oakley Chargers have 2 players in the academy. Tall forward Emma McDonald, while defender Sienna Tallaridi won the Best on Ground medal in the Coates League Grand Final. Then there's the dynamic midfielder, Sierra Greaves from the Western Jets, and the inseparable duo, Grace Barber and Sophie McKay. On the Vic Country side, there's a whole bunch of talented tools. You've got Zoe Basenko and Ellie Simons from the Dandenong Stingrays. Millie Lang is a key defender from the GWV Rebels who marks just about everything. And Lucia Painter is a smooth mover from Bendigo. From South Australia, you've got Poppy Schultz, the sister of Port Adelaide's Matilda, and a talented ruck in her own right. The Central District's trio of Jasmine Evans, Charlotte Riggs, and Georgia McKee are a handful. Evans is a sharp kick on the outside, Riggs controls the sky, and McKee is an explosive small forward. And the WA girls, we'll let Zippy introduce them.
Molly's very dynamic off the halfback. She takes a lot of intercept marks and sort of just always in the right position. She has good kick as well and gets it out of defensive 50 really well. Claudia, she plays in the forward line. She sort of similar, but in the offensive. She kicks lots of goals and gets in the right spots.
So all up, that's 6 girls from Vic Country, 5 from Metro, 5 from South Australia, 3 girls from WA, 3 from Queensland, 2 girls from New South Wales, 1 from the NT and 1 from Tassie. Alright, let's go back to the tour of Icon Park. First up is the nutrition station, although a few Carlton fans in the group were more excited to see Tom de Koning in the hallway. Then it was across to the pools, the gym and the indoor fields. One of the highlights of Carlton's facilities was the row of Ultra G machines the Blues have. They're anti-gravity treadmills athletes use when recovering from serious leg injuries as they return to training. Now let's get stuck into what you're really here for. Let's find out how to train like an elite athlete. Each academy session always starts with a warm-up led by high-performance manager Paul Seeley. There's a range of dynamic movements, band work, and some mobility stretches. After that, Tarks is the master of coming up with fun little games to kickstart the competitiveness in the group. Today's task is to steal the band from everyone else, and Ash Centra was on right from the start. Then the group was split up into their positions to go and do some specialised craft work. Former Tiger and Hawk, Ty Vickery, is now the coach of the Oakley Chargers girls program. He taught the rucks a specific bit of footwork that you really want to study. When you're taking a boundary throw in, the aim is to get in front of the contest and hold your ground. So if you get stuck behind, the key is to put one foot between the legs of your opponent, with your toes slightly in front of theirs. Then you put all your weight through your quad and bang, you can push out even the strongest players. The midfielders worked on a movement through traffic drill, but the best part was a guest appearance from Brownlow medalist Greg Williams. Diesel spent some time working on hand speed and dealing with pressure.
Handball, mate. Yeah. Handball. Yeah. So you put pressure on the knee, yeah?
The key targets worked on their aerial craft and moved into goal kicking. India Rashid really impressed with her flawless set shot routine, as well as her ability to nail off-balance shots on the run. Let's break down the finer details of Indy's kicking technique. First of all, she's a left footer. Her left hand is placed around the middle of the ball, but off to the side and away from the laces. Her right hand is there for support, but you can see her thumb and first finger are a little closer to the laces of the ball. She holds the footy at a slight tilt, which is really important. She also doesn't sway the ball much side to side, it's really steady. When it comes time for the ball drop, she doesn't lift up the footy at all, which is critical. You tend to see missed kicks when the ball comes out a little bit more horizontal, or when players push their arms out further to try and chase the footy and get more distance. She just drops it straight down, and you can see she's able to make contact with the ball while it's pointing face down. With main training at Carlton in the books, the girls are off to stay at Geelong Grammar for the rest of the weekend, with an early start catching waves at Ocean Grove on the cards for day 2.
Hey guys, this is Bubs.
Dude, make it like
What was the best part of training, Bubs?
probably the kicking drill is good and the marking drill is good.
I liked the kicking drill too. Yvonne Harris, favourite drill.
Probably the rocket drill.
Yeah.
What was the most interesting thing you learned yesterday?
Maybe the kicking drill, like small steps
Yeah.
to steady yourself to kick.
Yeah. Who's been the most fun to hang out with so far?
couple of girls that are pretty funny, like Zippy. She's always a character.
And probably, what's the thing you're looking forward to most for this weekend?
Probably surfing on our way there now.
Yeah. It might have been a quiet bus ride, but the vibes lifted immediately as soon as the crew hit the sand. Even the coaches were fired up to go for a surf.
How'd you go? Did you have fun?
Yeah, pretty good. Caught a few waves and knocked a few people over, but it's right, had fun overall.
Anyone you need to say sorry to after that, or all good?
I only saw the back of their head, so.
And who did you think was best out there?
Definitely Havana or Ash.
How'd you two go?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Who was best on out there?
Seals. Yeah, Seals was.
Yeah, and who needs a little bit more practice?
Sarah.
Georgia McKee is coming off an ACL injury, so she was the only player unable to get in the waves.
And for people that haven't seen you play before, what do you reckon the strengths of your game are?
My strengths of game would be I'm a forward, so kicking both feet is my strength. I've been learning that since I was young, so I feel like using both feet is really helpful as well.
The girls headed back to Geelong Grammar for a healthy lunch before a big afternoon of unlocking footy secrets. Today's session is a mixed schedule, with the group splitting into two and getting the chance to work on both skills and running form. Tarkin's group worked on speed, touch and coordination. Molly O'Hare absolutely smashed it with the juggling. The competition really heated up with another one of Tark's crazy games. This one crossed footy and netball with Olympic speed walking. Meanwhile, Seals took the group through the secrets of the 20-metre sprint. With pre-season testing coming up and the draft combine a key event later in the season, the 20-metre sprint is one of the benchmarks that recruiters really keep an eye on.
What we're going to work on today is sort of first step accelerations, and a lot of you have your testing, and the USA girls have already done their testing, but everyone else around the country hasn't yet. We're going to work on our start mechanics for our 20-metre sprint, and then hopefully if you're lucky enough to get to a draft combine in the back of the year, you can use some of these as teaching tools.
Utilising your core and arms to their full potential was one of the key parts. Plenty of runners don't swing their arms back fully, which is something that can help a lot with acceleration.
What I see a lot of the time is people have their feet in the wrong position, or they'll step to do this. They don't engage their core, so it's just a lot of wasted energy. So that's what we're going to work on. So the first thing we're going to work on is where to put our feet. If the timing gates are set up, my toe bottom meets a line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my opposite knee level with my laces. Then I'm going to stand up. So right here, it's probably where I squat, where I jump, I do most of my athletic movements. I get a nice little crouch, I load my front leg, I load my back leg, and I slow down.
After training, it was up to the gym to go through the basics of squatting progressions. They started with squatting on a box, then moved to variations of front squats before finally moving to a back squat. There was an emphasis on getting the form right at every step before moving on to the next progression. Tarks then led an information session about individual development plans, with an emphasis on ensuring that you set clear, quantifiable goals and actually tick all of those boxes.
But the whole purpose around what we're doing, so if we look at the 12 months in total, we want to get you all the way to the end, so let's say draft day. We want to get you to draft day as self-prepared or self-efficient as we can get you.
So how's the last couple of days been? Have you enjoyed the camp so far?
Yeah, it's been unreal so far. The quality of the girls you're kind of surrounded by drags everything up, which is awesome. And, getting to know everyone's been amazing. So I've loved it.
Who's been the nicest person you've met so far?
Oh, probably stick closest to home. Lucia Painter's pretty good value. But yeah, I'd say the whole culture is pretty welcoming, so it's hard to pick.
Who's been the most value?
Oh, Zippy.
Yeah.
She's awesome. I didn't realise how small she was. Nah, she's good.
What's the biggest thing you've learned or your little takeaway from the trip?
So far, definitely, like all the education sessions we've had, surfing, I learned a lot how to stand up. But yeah, definitely just hydration, food, taking your time in your kit. So yeah.
Finally, the girls got to pick the brains of Geelong stars Georgie Pressbarkis and Nina Morrison.
I think it's just about, that understanding that if you're sort of doing what everyone else is doing, then you're only kind of going to be progressing at that same rate. So, Chris and I both will go into the club to seek out advice or feedback from Dan, the coaching staff, doing some extra touch sessions and things like that. But I think the most important thing is being really targeted in whatever that you're trying to get out of it. I think that a lot of girls will say, I want to work really hard, or I want to do X, Y, Z to get better without any sort of clear direction around what it is they're trying to get better at. So coming in, if you're doing extra skill sessions, being really targeting what am I trying to focus on, or what am I trying to get out of this that's going to help me to elevate.
With some of the keys to success revealed, this group now has the tools to become one of the great AFLW draft classes. As they grow over the next few years to become the face of the league, it will be up to them to pass on footy's great secrets to the next gen.